I just come in?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, lovelies. Hey, oh.
They might try and go past.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on then, in you come.
Hello. Let's say hello to you before your mum, eh?
Isn't it rude?
Oh,
Hello.
how you doing?
Oh, it's so good to see you too. Can't believe it's been since November.
I don't know where the year's from, do you?
No, not even slightly.
Through your collection.
Looking through my collection of herbal teas.
Herbs.
Yeah, there is a good collection of them.
There is a good collection. I'm drawn to two things, can't quite decide. Hibiscus and I'm drawn to fennel.
Come on then, come on down.
Oh, I've got to go down.
You've got to squat.
I don't know if I said that.
Right, should we start again? Hang on, I reckon. Oh look, we're both coordinated.
You just noticed that. It's like wearing a uniform. I went to the Witchcraft Museum with our coven the other day. We went on a day out and everybody turned up wearing the same colours.
Did they really? That was so
really
funny.
culty.
Well, we are. We have coordinated well today with our lemon and lime and our lemon and lime water.
Indeed. Right, are we starting?
Yes,
Should we just give it a bit
squat.
of a pause and then?
Yeah, just squat
Because
down.
I'm going to get the giggles now. Okay.
It's fine. Giggles is fine.
Is it?
Yeah, because we're not behind this bench just squatting.
Like we're having a wee. God.
We're not weeing. Welcome to today's conversation. It's going to be a slow conversation today. This is Helen. My name's Martine. We're squatting behind this box right now. We're not going to be able to do this for very long. So, before we get on to our conversations of whatever that may be today, should we choose some tea?
I think we should. Choose some tea. I think I'm.
What herbs do you fancy today, Helen?
So I'm mildly indecisive, which is actually not like me. I'm going to go for hibiscus, I think.
Oh, nice.
Cooling.
Yes, hibiscus is a good choice. So, is that it? Just one choice, one tea?
I weirdly quite fancy fennel, and I'm aware that doesn't actually go in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think there's a not go and a not. I don't think that is. Yeah, right.
I'm
yeah.
not worried about it going.
No,
to be honest.
exactly.
It's never been in my nature to worry about
So,
whether things go or not.
no, exactly. So now you get to eat the jar, the fennel, wherever that is, and the hibiscus, and choose however much you'd like to put in.
Awesome.
It's entirely up to you.
Have we got a teaspoon? Or
Depends. You know, just grab.
Pinch.
Depends how much longer your thigh muscles can keep going for while
They're
we're
all right
squatting.
while we're squatting. It's whether I can walk after.
Yeah,
whether
we can walk back to the seats when we're done.
Are you sharing the?
Yeah, I'll share
same
with you.
one? Is that...
I'll share with you. Yeah. I love sharing other people's tea that they make. Yes.
So do you do a bit of like personality?
Yeah, there's no. I'm no.
Feeling a bit feeble.
I'm no like herbal witch. I like herbs. Yeah, they're amazing, aren't they? Let's have a whiff. Oh.
Good, isn't it?
Oh. Where do you feel that when you smell it?
Where do I feel it when I smell it? Solar plexus.
I feel it right here.
Yeah, solar plexus. Yeah.
Right there. Yeah. Funny, isn't it?
There you go. You obviously are a witch when it comes to tea.
Just not in a herbalist wordy way.
No, that's right.
I have my own unique way of
Herbalist
doing.
wordy witch.
I'm not a herbalist
There are
wordy witch.
rules.
I know some of those, and they are wonders because they just have such wealth of knowledge to just like pile into the equation.
Oh,
I don't know.
apparently I can't pour.
Yeah, no, I don't know either.
Can't pour water.
No water for you today.
Oh, it is coming out.
Oh, that's a
It
bit
just
slow.
needs a bit of coke. I think it's a metaphor.
Yes. Well, we did say when we first met today, today
It's
might
gonna be
need
a
to be slow.
Day. I know if my hand is shaking violently, it is the pot that's doing
This is
that.
the slowest pouring tea ever.
This is right. I'm switching hands.
Or just take the lid off.
Definitely. I could just take the lid off. Right. How does this go? Do we just?
Something is definitely forcing us to go slow.
Let's take the lid off.
Yes, do that.
That feels more doable. She says.
Yeah, I know when I was trying to pour it from the other one into the kettle, it just ended up going everywhere as well. Ridiculous. Right.
Right. I think we're full up there.
I think the thighs are about done with squatting.
I think they are done with squatting. That's
Nice choice of tea.
That's
Right, should we
tea.
go and sit in some comfier chairs and mull
should.
over your
We
herbal
should.
choices
indeed.
and see what it all says?
In a witch
witchy way. Yeah, it's just on and ready to go.
I don't want to look like I'm sat in some kind of posing for some fucking life drawing class.
Today we have Helen
Like
for
this.
our life drawing. You have 1 hour, your time starts now.
Does that look like a life? I'm just trying to look and see if
It's
it looks
all
like
right.
a life drawing pose.
Yeah, as soon as you put your arm over or something like that, would you? Oh my
that's
goodness
so
me.
funny. Well,
How do you like that pose?
So look, I'm not convinced. You can't really see, can you? Hang on. Cover my boobs up. We don't want those out, do we?
We are
On the
sporting our lemon and lime
on the
today.
life drawing thing.
Oh dear. So, yeah, we did. We just picked some tea. You picked some fennel and hibiscus. I'm not sure if hibiscus is in here, but have a read through.
Let's have a look.
Have a read through the fennel.
Antimicrobial, antiviral, antioxidant.
And I shall have a look at other things.
Helps fight viral colds, relaxes muscles, aids sleep, supports digestion, boosts metabolism, regulates appetite, improves eyesight, reduces gas, reduces stress, helps to clear mucus from airways. Could do with all of the above.
Yeah.
Have we got hibiscus on here? No, I don't think so. Mugwort. We should have had mugwort. I didn't know you had mugwort.
I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna.
Have I
We
got
just ended
mugwort?
up being a bit dreamy.
Yeah.
Although mugwort is a diuretic.
It's, yeah.
So we'd probably be nipping out every.
I don't know if I have got mugwort at the moment. I normally
I've
actually
got
no. I think I
stack
have.
of all. Some I've got
think
stacks
I
of
have.
mugwort at home.
Hibiscus, fennel. Right, so let's see what wizardry and witchcraft your herbal tea is saying about you today, Helen.
Okay, it's like character analysis. You should have you need to do a whole thing on personality profiling with tea.
With tea. What a stunning, incredibly intuitive combination you have chosen. Hibiscus and fennel are beautiful opposites that come together to create a deeply balancing somatic medicine.
Okay.
In the language of plants and the body, you have blended fire and earth, movement and stillness. It is a tea choice that simultaneously wakes up the blood while completely settling the guts.
Okay. I think this sounds good.
Yeah?
I like the fire and earth thing.
Yeah, hibiscus, Yeah. Yeah, we know about the plants. Thanks, there you go.
Awesome.
For your nervous system and your body.
Sounds good. I like the fire and earth thing.
Yeah, that's it. I do tend to find myself choosing quite a lot of the fiery herbs.
Do you? Are you a particularly fiery person? Do you know about your chart? Have you got?
Oh
Is there
yeah,
fire going on, or
yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you the exact elements of because my brain doesn't remember them like that. But yeah, there's definitely
There's a little fire in there.
Yeah, Scorpio, 19th of November. I don't remember the words for it, but yes.
Okay. Well, Scorpio would be water. So, yeah. But I'm just wondering because sometimes people choose things that are kind of amplify that, and sometimes people choose things that kind of balance.
Yeah, that's it.
That
I think.
out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's times when the fire needs to be encouraged.
Yes, there are times. I'm not sure currently at this phase of life whether my fire needs to be encouraged anymore.
No.
I think it's been encouraged quite a lot recently.
Yeah.
Or at least not discouraged.
I will agree with you, definitely. I think that with the perimenopausal brains and just trying to find balance
And the propensity
in
to just
life.
be irritated about absolutely everything. I don't know if this has struck you or not, but just the level of intolerance about really insignificant things. That's something that really took me by surprise. I always thought it was really laid back and tolerant. And
Yeah, but no.
but no, apparently not.
But the interesting thing I'm finding about perimenopause, which, like just shifting away from that intense mother mindset, coming back to yourself, shedding through all those adult learnings, is that some of those places where there's less tolerance, they've always been there.
They have been there, and sometimes they've been very needed and not acknowledged.
That's it. And to get to a place where you almost like have removed all those other elements of your life, mothering, partnering, growing in relationship, and you've removed all those other parts, and you're just like, yeah, those irritants have always been there, but I've perhaps bolstered them up and given to myself what I've needed when it's not been available to me sort of from elsewhere and elsewhere and for in around and in life. But it is, isn't it? And it's so freeing to see it clearly, just how insignificant some of these things are, and how much you're like, well, there's another boundary.
Yeah.
That's now that's going to be set in place.
I know. And it's quite, I can't imagine what a kind of culture shock it is for
the people around us.
Just like, what happened?
You used to tolerate that. No, not anymore. Sorry. That filter's gone.
And here's the filter's gone.
And you know, interestingly as well, I've also don't have a gallbladder, which a gallbladder is a decision-making organ.
Yeah.
And so there's less filter for bullshit, even more so. Your body is just like, nope, no filter, fuck off.
And also very closely, obviously, related to your liver, which is going to be about anger.
Exactly, frustration and anger.
Frustration and all of those things.
Oh, do you know, when I look back at that time period in my life when my gallbladder was taken out, and it was when my son was suffering in school, and one of them had a really bad medical illness and wasn't feeling listened to in the professional world by the school system or the medical world, and then wasn't feeling heard in my own home. The amount of decisions I was having to make blindly, trusting my intuition the whole time.
Yeah.
My gallbladder just couldn't cope. And when was that? That must have been about 10 years or so. No, 2015 to 2019. And it was so consuming, like consuming my whole world, that my gallbladder could not process anymore, because the decisions that needed to be made, I was stuck behind these structures of the medical world and the school world, and just everyone says it's a fight.
Oh, it's a complete fight. I think your son had the same condition as my son, didn't he?
Well,
which is unusual because it's really rare.
Oh, I don't know.
Erythrodermic eczema?
Oh, that was my middle son, Thomas.
Okay.
Erythrodermia. Yeah, oh my goodness, isn't it horrific?
Horrific, absolutely horrific.
Honestly, one of the
most... And when you say like erythrodermic eczema, people think, apart from the fact eczema can be horrific.
Erythrodermic psoriasis.
Okay, so it's going to be similar where
his was eczema, but it's Thomas, and it's literally, erythrodermia means full body coverage.
Well, it means you've lost 90% of your skin.
Your skin.
Surface.
And your skin is our largest organ that we have.
And so it's effectively, imagine like being burnt.
Yeah.
Similar
I remember being on on a group of adults who had the same condition as him, and saying to him, we've been told to put creams on him, we've been told to lather him up, but putting them on them, it feels like
agony.
Abuse.
Yeah.
Why? And they said it feels like being stung all over by bees. It feels like having boiling water poured all over you. You know, when you're just like, it cripples you as a mother.
Oh, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific.
Them. You can't touch them properly. They can't communicate. They can't function. It's awful, isn't it?
It's really horrific. I mean, my son was quite a lot older so he'd had problems all his life. He'd had problems from when he was born. I had retained placenta and I hemorrhaged, and it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks. I had a primary hemorrhage and a secondary one that went on for about 10 weeks. So it was like an anemic mess. But I had just a ton of antibiotics, which I needed.
Of course.
I absolutely needed. I wouldn't be here without them.
No.
But then I was breastfeeding because that was the right thing to do. In hindsight, with the amount of antibiotics that I had, I actually think it would have been better to have bottle fed in that situation.
Period. Yeah.
But you just do what you... And I remember asking the doctor, I remember saying to him, look, I'm breastfeeding, is this
okay?
Is this going to be okay? And he was like, oh, it'll just taint the milk a bit, it'll be fine, you know. And I remember saying it wasn't that long later, and I started getting into nutrition before I qualified, but it was one of the things that led me into nutrition, first of all. I took him to the doctor and I was like, because he'd started with all the skin conditions and the allergy, and we've got a massive family history of that too. So I think he would have had it, but it was just
in there, rooted
exacerbated.
Anyway. Yeah.
And saying that because this some form of dysbiosis, and the doctor, oh, ridiculous yoga nonsense, and like, here we are. I just wanted to go back to when he's not there at the practice anymore, and go, look, have you seen all the research that's come out now on the gut? And but you do your best, don't you? And that was the start of it. Yeah. But the erythrodermic eczema, he was in his mid-20s.
Right.
And he didn't realise he was ill. He just thought he had a cold, and he was...
Oh, wow.
Because
it's debilitating,
so used
isn't
to
it?
feeling so rubbish.
Yeah.
It's really debilitating.
It is debilitating. And and to have that experience where you're given a medication that you're questioning, is this okay? And you're told it's fine, and then your son ends up with an issue that stems from his gut.
Yeah.
You feel so unseen as a mother.
Oh,
and as a woman,
and it's just
when you're sat there going, my intuition is crying out at me right now and telling me that this isn't somewhere along the line, somewhere in the mechanism of life, this isn't right.
Yeah.
And then the gut issues
and it just
come out.
Yeah, completely. And also just on a really primal level, we know that anything we take in is going to... And I wanted to know... I remember them giving me loads of... Because I had SPD when I was pregnant as well, where your pelvic girdle kind of basically separates weight back.
Yeah.
And I didn't take them actually, but they gave me loads of paracetamol and codeine to take. And I remember at the time just intuitively going, I don't want to take this. And I mean, not that it didn't really do much anyway for SPD. It's not really going to help. But I just didn't want to take it because there's that whole thing in the back of my mind, like, and still having that reassurance that it was going to be all right. And But how many times have we been reassured that things are going to be all right, and they're not?
They're not. And you know, it's crazy. The two of us just sat here now, just bringing up these conversations around the medication and the complete two parts of it: the necessity of it, but also the part where they're only looking right at the picture where it's necessary, and avoiding that bigger picture and how that transcends through life and in our bodies on a cellular level. And with my first pregnancy, I was given codeine.
Were you? Okay.
For migraines.
Okay.
And I wasn't taking them that often, and the midwife said, well, you know, how are you using them? I said, I just take them when it gets a bit bad. She went, no, you need to be taking them all the time, every 4 hours too.
Oh my God.
And so I did for months. And then when Jack was born, and he was jittery and red and this, and we just thought it was a normal baby. I'd never had a baby before.
So
we were laughing at his jazz hands.
You don't have anything to compare it to, do you?
No comparison. And the paediatricians would go and come back and go and come back, and then they'd take him away. And we're like, what's going on? Why are they taking our baby away? Was that really a nurse? Has he been kidnapped? What's going on? And eventually they sat down and said to us that they were seeing withdrawal symptoms in him from recreational drugs. And first of all, I sat there and was like, firstly, no. I've not consumed any recreational drugs. And then they said, oh, prescription. And I was like, I've been prescribed codeine for the last 4 months. And they literally went, oh, yeah, that will do it. Your son's got neonatal abstinence syndrome.
Oh, my God. Harrowing.
And then the withdrawal symptoms will go and everything will be fine. It's never been fine.
No, of course, no.
You know, and you just, and this is happening to women. It's happening to us.
Regular, yeah.
It still happens. I'm on a site where there's parents who are also, the mother was given codeine and another drug, and they were told, oh, your baby will just be a bit sleepy. And it's negligence, is it not?
Well, is it negligence or is it ignorance? Or, I mean, I'm not saying it's okay.
No, but they're not doing it thinking that it's going to cause harm. There's no malice.
There's no malice in it.
But it happens.
But it's ignorance, and it has devastating consequences. Yeah. And it was something really interesting that a doctor friend and colleague during the whole COVID experience said to me was, look, medical professionals don't have time to look at the original research. They're looking at the nice guidelines that are coming out. It's already been processed for them. Because of course you can't look at, you couldn't be in that profession and look at every. You've got to look at the condensed version, especially if you're a generalist.
But also, it's like they've got to look at it out here where it's happening, where they're interacting with it, and then they feed it back and get the knowledge.
Yeah.
But they can't have all of the knowledge of everything all the time. It's impossible.
No, they can't, and it's so pressured that. And again, I'm not saying, I don't know what the answer is. I just think the system is not cut out to support nuance of what's working and what isn't.
Yeah, because I think that they're still looking at it, that medication, prescription, an accident and emergency fixes everything. And it's brilliant for what it does.
Yeah.
But it completely overrides looking at the whole person in your entirety.
Of course.
And the impact of that down the line. Do you know there's no known name for the impact of opioid exposure in utero? There's no long-term diagnosis.
That's fascinating, isn't it? When you look
but there is a name for the withdrawal symptoms a baby goes through.
Okay, so there's nothing for the woman. And the woman's got, like, in the context of the woman and the pregnancy, but once it's postpartum, there's a
diagnosis for the withdrawal symptoms of the baby.
Okay.
As if that's it, it's done, it's all gone away.
Right, okay.
There's no diagnosis then for a child who's been born exposed to opioids and a pathway for them to be guided on in life. It's simply, it's not there, it doesn't exist.
And I think it's it's really difficult, isn't it? And again, I think the whole system loses the nuance. It's not cut out to look at. I'm not anti-medication.
No. It absolutely has its place.
In certain situations,
Let me just
crucial.
go and see this. I don't know if this is a delivery.
Yeah.
Oh yes. See how our tea's doing.
It should be brewed. Should I pour?
Give it a whirl.
Was it a delivery?
No.
That's a good colour.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Though, hibiscus.
You going for it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Look at that colour.
Smells yummy. All good?
Yeah, all good. And I think that's the thing as well, isn't it? Is yes, these things are happening. Yes, there's, like you say, I think there's a level of ignorance to a point, but not intentionally.
Yeah, I don't think.
It's not what they're trained in.
No,
it's not what they're given.
Not at all. And there's, even with pain management.
Oh yeah.
There's a time where pain management, it's essential
to that's it.
Overall well-being, and it's finding where that.
But they look at it in one way.
Yeah, it's also very macro. They don't look at But then how can you? If you've got 10 minutes to see somebody and they've got 10 minutes to tell you what's going on for them, and you've got 10 minutes to prescribe,
that's it.
You just can't.
When as we know, this is it. Exactly. So many of these things, anyway, they just have so much more depth to it all than is possible in that time frame. Having that conversation with them. It's tough, isn't it?
That's really nice. That was an intuitive pick. I had no idea that fennel and hibiscus would go together. I thought it was quite a weird mix, but it's working.
That is, isn't it? Oh, that's really nice.
It's really nice.
You get the hibiscus first, and then the fennel comes through after.
It's really good.
So how's life, anyway? We were both saying at the start that we're quite perimenopausal, and we were like, I think today we might just need to go a bit slow.
Just the whole word see what I mean? Case in point. Word finding thing is a slight challenge, and for somebody who was quite used to being able to find words quite quickly, and it's all dwindled down. I'm hoping it'll come back. Fingers crossed. But life is good. Life is rural and wild and slightly feral, and busy and cool and good.
Good. Generally. Light, feeling light in your life. I like it.
Light in my life, yes.
Feeling light in your life.
Taking a while to, but then I guess it's normal because we moved, but so I moved literally. How mad hat is this? On the 30th of December.
Oh my Lord.
Off-grid life.
Oh wow.
So not even a house move, just completely off-grid.
So you're fully on your land now?
Fully on our land.
And there's you've got a summer house
so
style.
It's like the Norwegian cabins and
wow.
So we've got that. Stunning. And there's a load of little outhouses as well. So
oh my goodness me.
It has so it has got a proper bathroom. It was all there when we arrived, so it was all like that already. But it has got a series of outhouses and then a summer house, which is kind of like a spare bedroom and a compost loo, and, which is for because you don't want to be walking kind of 3 acres in the night to go to the loo.
Oh no! Every year I go away for my birthday with my friend. We try to go away every year, It's in November, and we quite often always end up like booking somewhere with an outdoor compost loo. And every year we're like, not next time. Next time we're not going to have
It's
an
a
outdoor.
spider thing. I'm not bothered about spiders. I actually quite like
I
spiders.
don't mind the spiders.
I just
yeah.
don't want to sit
Yeah.
on a whole raft of them in the night.
Yeah,
It's
I just
kind
don't
of
want to have to. Yeah,
slightly
that's
primal.
it. Yeah, no, that's it. And weirdly, going to the toilet in outdoors toilets is a weird repeated dream of mine.
Is what since you've been camping or prior to? I think
I
we need to dig
I mean,
around
I
in
do a
this.
lot. I do a lot of camping. I've done a lot of camping. I've done a lot of.
Okay.
But my repeated dream, right? Come on, let's unpack a
I
dream.
think we need to unpack this.
Let's unpack this dream, Helen. Well, my dream is, right, I'm at festival. I'm at festival with my friends. And, I don't know, they may be off there somewhere or we might be exploring. And everywhere I go, I need the toilet. Let's go to the toilet. Go into the festival toilet. It's minging. It's overflowing.
Oh, God.
And every time in my dream I have to navigate trying to go to the toilet
Oh,
in a minging festival toilet.
oh God. My whole, you're bringing back Glastonbury.
Exactly. That's a repeated dream.
So when did you start going? I need to know when this dream started versus when you started going to festivals.
I've been going to festivals for many years,
Okay.
a long time, so that's not new. And I have a very poor bladder,
Okay.
so maybe that's going to come into it. But I don't know, it's a weird one.
Dealing with other people's shit.
Possibly. And it feels like the other part of the dream is always relevant as well. It's the bit where you can't quite get to the place that I can't quite get to my friend, I can't quite get to there. I do love deciphering dreams, and so the can't quite getting there part of it, I get that. Life's
It's quite
busy.
a classic one as well, isn't it?
Life's busy when you're a mum, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
always just never fucking there.
Yeah, totally.
But the festival toilet thing is just something that I'm just, again, come on.
Let's go in there. Yeah, no, I think there's some definite analysis to be done.
There's
there,
some
isn't there?
unpacking
Something
to
going
do
on
there.
I watched this video this morning about a lad. I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with that. He was a US kind of footballer, American footballer, really fit, one of the athletic, kind of jock kids.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a head injury, so he was unconscious for 10 seconds
Right.
during this head injury. And during that time, he had a lifetime that he said lasted 10 years. And he had this whole lifetime. And it was, year by year, he had a wife, he had kids, it was completely consistent. And
Wow.
then in this lifetime, at the end, he was sat there and he was looking, it was an ordinary lamp, and he was looking at the lamp and he was like, the lamp's wrong, and it was 2D. And in this end of this lifetime, he was staring at this lamp going, there's something wrong with the lamp. And he just, apparently in his coma life, stared at it for 3 days and didn't eat, and his wife was trying to cajole him out of it. And then the lamp shattered and he gradually came round. But he's been in deep grief since
For his
that
wife
time.
and loss of
For
children.
his, and apparently there are quite a few like that. It's not just a fleeting thing that changes, like this literal decades and decades and decades of life.
And do you think that that's like, because when you wake up and you've had a dream and you're like, that was so real, but it didn't last for very long.
Yeah.
Do you think that's just living in that dream state and being
Who
in a
knows?
repeated dream state because if you've felt something, if you've experienced something, if you've seen something, your body knows that it is.
Yeah.
And that's why, I think it was my eldest son, he said to me years, a while back, he said, I had a horrible dream last night that Sammy, his younger brother, died. And he went, he said, at least he said, I know what that feels like. He said, that was horrific. It can bring the real feeling of having had the experience.
Yeah.
I had a dream that I was in space, looking out of a window down to the earth, and I could see the earth from the moon, and it was real in that dream.
Yeah.
And in my head, that experience is still there. How peculiar that you could have that for 10 years in your mind.
And it was there, and apparently it's not uncommon. People to have this
Wow.
whole kind of life, really detailed. I mean, I just found the detail of the lamp. It was like he was staring at a lamp in his front room.
Yeah.
And everything was consistent, and it was absolutely 10 years to have the whole wedding and everything. And there were other similar stories, but people were analysing it, and I thought this is fascinating because we can't possibly know, can we? We can't know whether this was some trauma-induced time dilation thing. So, like if you fall over, or if you have, I've had a car accident and I've had multiple riding accidents, time slows down, which it makes sense. The theory is that you're slowing it down so you can react. But so they're hypothesizing that this is happening during a coma state in response to stress. So yeah, you could say that. And then there are other people go, no, it's definitely a parallel universe, and it tells us a lot about. But we don't know either way. It might, and does the time dilation thing have to be an and or can it be an either or? Can it be an and both?
Well, this is exactly it. And because we've not had that experience, we can't give our own perspective to it. We can only give our thought and opinion on it.
You can just hypothesize. That's all you can do.
That's all you can do. It's like I saw a ghost as a child.
Mm-hmm.
It was real.
Yeah.
I've never seen another ghost since.
Yeah.
That experience has never happened again. So all I can do is talk about the experience of me as an 8-9-year-old girl and talk around exactly what that experience was, because there's no other context to bring into it. There's no other perspective to bring.
And the whole thing about, that's a fascinating one. I think I would have been under 8 when I had my first, that I remember, experience of what you could call a classic ghost. And I was in St Michael's Mount when it happened.
Oh yes, I
and
like this. Yes,
I spent years afterwards trying to find reference to anybody else that had experienced this. But basically, my mum and dad used to work for a charity, and this was before it was a national trust.
Mm-hmm.
And every year the charity would look after the mount. They'd steward it, and then they would get to take the proceeds from the gate and as donation towards the charity. So it was what Lord and Lady St Level at the time used to do they were patrons of this charity. And I was being really big and important. I want to say I was 6 or 7. I was really young. And I'd wandered off on my own. And there's kind of like a long landing. Anybody that knows it, you go through like a map room, there's a long landing. You go down in a granite staircase, and then there's like a tunnel type corridor into the garrison's fort at the end, which is completely blocked off. So it would have had a staircase up years ago, but it was completely blocked off. And I remember that feeling, and I've had it multiple times since during paranormal experiences, of like everything becomes super still, like this weird, not that I would have had the language for it at that age, but I remember the feeling.
There's no word for it, is there, when it's just a feeling?
No, not at all. And then, and this is a cliche, a bloke in a long black, what was a monk's habit, walked past me. There was something off about him, and I can't remember what it was. It was like, I remember speaking and him not acknowledging and kind of looking around, just looking sort of flustered, and it put me on edge. But he went into the room and he was in there for ages, and I had like a digital 80s watch with like a little rainbow like watch straps,
one of those
you know
ones. I remember.
And he was in there, and it was around sort of 10 minutes from memory. As you know, obviously this is a while ago, but he was in there for a fair while, let's say, and he'd gone completely. He hadn't walked past me. There was no way you could get out. There, and he just completely vanished. I did find reference from years later, and apparently he was a distressed Benedictine monk that wanders, and that they think it might have been something to do with an earthquake.
And people have seen and heard and known of before, but of course you don't know that as a child.
No, absolutely not. I just knew it wasn't right. And I remember pegging it back up the stairs to my dad and the people that were stewarding, and going, I've just seen this, and going, oh, don't be daft. But apparently one of the chaps there said, oh, that little girl wasn't lying, was she? She wasn't making that up when I'd gone. But at the time, all I knew was they were telling me it wasn't real, and I knew what I'd just seen.
And this is the thing, isn't it? Is when you've seen it, felt it, experienced it, it's real.
It's absolutely real. There's no way that's not real.
There's no way that anyone can remove you from that.
But telling you it's not is like, and I understand they're trying to reassure.
It's so confusing, though.
Incredibly confusing.
Because it brings a confliction to your reality. And you know, I remember waking up the next day after my experience and telling my parents, and my dad saying, before then I'd never even entertained the idea of ghosts. He said, until that moment when you told us that story the next day, that in the night, again, how bloody, what's the right word? Classic can you get? A bit cliched. A white lady ghost.
Okay.
Hovering over the bed where my brother was sleeping at the other end.
Right.
Literally just an old lady ghost. I turned around to hear it because he was crying. Turned round, and there she was. And I just, frozen, not in fear, observation. Is he crying at her? No. What's going on? She's not looking at me, she's looking at him. I don't know what to do in this situation. I'll just sit here and watch this because I don't know what to do.
There's no template, is there?
No, nothing. You don't know how to experience, you don't know how to move through an experience of that, because everything within me in that moment, at the place I was at as an 8-9-year-old girl, was telling me that's a ghost.
Yeah.
I had no reason to question it being a ghost. It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And then the curtain opened, and then in someone came from the next door. No lights came on, no change. She just drifted up and floated up through the ceiling, and then she was gone. And my dad said I'd never believed in him until that moment when you told me that.
So,
so matter-of-factly,
Yeah.
this happened last night. Were you not scared? No.
Yeah.
Why would I be scared of a ghost?
So I think I would have been really freaked out as a kid.
But I have as an adult, I've never seen another ghost. I don't know if I believe in them, because literally, when
It
you
was just that,
it was there, it was gone.
So
And I'm totally open. Come on, hello, come haunt me.
you want some more? You've got.
Well,
got
I
plenty?
need to drink up on mine.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I've absolutely seen and lived with and worked with the effects of the paranormal, but I'm really interested in how we categorise these and what we, was it a time slip? Was there some way of that had passed over? Was it an echo, as in stone tape theory, like strong emotions get, because we all know if we walk into a room where people have had a raging argument,
you feel it, don't you?
You feel it. So if you feel like that, something's really,
you feel it,
massively distressing, it has a charge to it.
Completely. We've just come back from our month's travel around Scotland and Wales, and we stayed in so many Airbnbs. Most of them just felt like an Airbnb, cold. Most of them you could tell that the owners didn't really know the property, didn't really have a feel of the property, because you'd ask questions and they wouldn't quite know, and you'd be like, yeah, you don't know this property, this is just a holiday let.
Yeah.
There was one that we went to stay in, and the moment I walked in, I felt like I was being hugged
Okay.
by this home.
Okay.
It felt
in a good way. So
in
when
a
you said it, I was
really
like,
good
is this a
way.
good hug or
Yeah,
not a good hug?
Yeah. It felt like walking into your grandparents' home.
Okay.
And just, you could feel the ancestry in the home. And so I messaged the owners and I said, just out of curiosity, is this a family home? Has this been in your family a long time? I said, because this home feels so different to all of the other ones we've stayed in. And she got back and she said, yes, that's been in my family for over 100 years.
Wonderful.
My father grew up there. They grew up there. And you could feel it.
Yeah. You can just tell,
That
can't
was,
you?
no ghost was needed.
No, not at all.
I could feel and see into that family home just from the energy of the rooms and the
Yeah.
walls. Just like there's another bit of land I look after in Polperro, holiday let. But the land is steeped in matriarchal history.
Okay.
It's got women who've owned the land and raised children, and you can feel it there.
Okay.
It's got absolutely. I think that there's ways that we can look at these different anomalies, and if the feeling and the experience is there, it's real. But does there need to be a word to what it is?
No,
it's
I mean, I
hard,
think
isn't it?
It is hard. I think the only time I find it helpful, so I'll go into houses, and quite a lot of work that I do is getting called into houses that are actually active,
Right.
and frightening people,
Ooh.
and things are moving around and flying around, and it helps to have categories. But when I teach this stuff and when I teach other people how to go and do it, I'm like, look, these are the working categories that work for me based on my current hypothesis. This is so vast, I can't think, we don't know definitively.
No, we do. This
what
is the
we're dealing
thing.
with.
And this is the thing that people need to sometimes forget, is that what I did when I stepped into the experience of seeing a ghost was bring my hypothesis to it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
And when we walk into, and I've had similar as well, where you walk into a room and they say, oh, the child's scared of sleeping in here. And I'm like, I can see why.
Yeah.
There's no entity.
Yeah.
You look at the dynamic of the space in
And
that
how it
3D
is.
mind, and how that feels for a child sleeping in that space.
Yeah.
There's that element to it as well.
And I would always say rule out the mundane before you go for
This
the
is the
supernatural.
thing, exactly, that's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, there's
But there's
mundane
also blind
supernatural,
spots.
There's a
isn't
parallel. There are, it's a
Yeah.
spectrum, but I mean, there are instances where I've been in where it's absolutely been paranormal, without a doubt.
there? Yeah.
But it's not the first conclusion that I jump to.
No, you can't, but that's the thing, isn't it? Because I think then that it's easy to bring your own mindset and narrow it in and make that all it is,
Yeah.
whilst ignoring the other possibilities and perspectives and the bigger picture.
And we'll still do that, as objective as we try and be about it.
Of course.
And that's not to minimise anything that people have had going on, but I've
No,
I've
but
been
when you
to,
feel it, see it, know it, sense it,
it's
is
there.
Yeah,
And
that's it.
there have been things that have absolutely interacted in real time.
Yeah, of course.
And that's got an intelligence to it. That's not a memory or an echo or a charge.
Yeah, and I mean, the world does work in very mysterious ways, in the ways that it will bring things in at a certain time that's got a connection to that, that, and that, and that, which makes sense for that thing coming up at that time when it wouldn't have made sense at any other.
Yeah, completely.
I love that all of those things are there.
I wonder if you get more of that if you are kind of moving through the world quite intuitively, or whether that's, because it makes me think of kind of dyslexic thought patterns and the connections and things, and what is it where does that come from? Because I talk to some people and I don't know if this is a universal thing or not. And
I think that there's a very dyslexic element to it, because you're dyslexic too.
I'm all sorts of blends. So I had a dyslexia assessment years ago. I'm not convinced. I was hyperlexic as a kid, so I read really early, I wrote really early, but I still do the moving things about pattern recognition, and I definitely have dyscalculia.
But are you a visual processor?
Completely visual.
Okay, so
Three-dimensional visual.
Yeah, so dyslexia comes into play as being a disability when you're in a structure and an environment that's not right for you. Step away from that and you bring it into its 3D complexity, and when you can learn that. So the way I love talking around these things. So for me, when words are spoken, they come in, they filter through, and they go in to form a picture in my mind.
Yeah.
That picture, if what you say makes sense, forms a picture, and I go, I get you, I make sense, I can see that, I can feel that, I know what you're talking about. It's there, it's real, it's tangible, it's alive. And then that information, once there's clarity to it, can then jog on off to the bigger sphere in my mind of my world, of the visuals of my life. It can jog off into there and go and sit in its right place if it's something that needs to come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
totally.
So I think that when you process in a 3D inner sphere way, I think it does leave you struggling in a linear life.
Oh, definitely can't do linear life. But I was always, it's a stereotypical thing about dyslexia, and when I went for my assessment, they were like, well, actually what you've done, because you've got really, a really wide vocabulary, you've just adapted really, really well.
Adaptation is the thing, isn't it?
It is. And with pattern recognition, I could read really early. So the automatic assumption is you struggle with reading, writing, and it's
Doesn't
reduced
that just
down
drive
to
you
that.
insane? It's reduced to reading and writing. And when you're just like, that's the only bit you see, because that's the only sphere from which you look at me from.
Yeah. But I didn't struggle with reading. I mean, my handwriting's still terrible, but
I can read and write.
I
My
can-
handwriting's
never
fine.
had a-
I can't spell. Who cares?
and I'm not actually that bad with spelling, but what I do is if I can't spell, I substitute.
Yes, and word, not recognition, retrieval.
Word retrieval
is hard. I find word retrieval, I have a difficulty with word retrieval because I don't remember details.
Okay.
You're much more detailed, so you remember the words
really
of the detail.
detailed.
But because I don't remember the words of the details,
Okay.
words for me get lost because my brain stays on that outside sphere of the bigger picture. It doesn't care about the detail.
Okay.
That's why I need people like you in my life who love the detail.
No, I love minutiae. I love detail.
I like seeing it. I don't
Yeah.
need to feel my way around all of it.
I want to know. My mum used to say, you want to know the ins and outs of a gnat's arse.
Yeah, I'll watch
That
the ins
was
and outs
like-
of it, but I don't need to know the ins and
No, I
outs
do.
of
I
it.
want to know. And if I know one bit, I want to know the next bit and
that's
why that
it.
connects to that.
I'll get it and I'll understand the bigger picture, but I don't care what it's called.
Okay, no, I do. And I always had really good, to go back to, we've come full circle, quite
Okay.
dyslexic.
Oh.
Going back to the perimenopause thing, always had really good vocabulary and really good word retrieval. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I said earlier, it's like rooting through a dusty filing cabinet
Yeah.
trying to find things.
It is, isn't
are
it?
in
You're
there.
just like, hang on a second, that word, just give me a moment. I'm
just
going to need to
root
dig for a
through.
little while to find the word that it is.
Yeah.
That we were saying. I love musing over the way that we process, and I think that it's something that's we're just starting to cross over into and acknowledging that when we put children into that system and we have one form of education and then we end up with all these different labels, that actually what we're labelling is personality, character type, and processing.
Absolutely. I've always thought that. And it does become a disability in that environment.
This is it. The only time I've ever felt disabled is in the school.
Yeah.
Because I cannot process in that linear way with words. You read them, makes no sense.
Yeah.
I can't see what... If you give me this information about a king, there's no picture in my head for that to join.
Yeah.
Or information about a king. It's just a random king, and I don't remember their names or their places or where they all belong. So fuck off.
Yeah. And
Get
also,
out of my head.
is it that thing also where... So for me, if I'm interested in it, I am massively interested in it. And I want to know everything. If I'm not interested...
If you can start to see it. If like what I see it makes me go, ooh...
That's interesting.
Hang on.
Then I want to.
That connects to all of those things in my sphere.
Yeah.
Come here. Let's go. And then we filter our way around it all. We learn it all. We process it all, and then we jump out the other side and we go, oh yeah, there's this, and everyone goes, oh, you're an expert on that. And you're like, am I?
Yeah. That happened quite quickly.
All the time.
I can remember actually being speaking to a GP when Tom was really ill, because he had like a mast cell disorder. So mast cells produce histamine and about 300 other chemicals.
Over.
Sure
Yeah.
Can. And I remember saying to and he was having anaphylactic reactions sort of 3 times a week, and we were in and out of hospital, and I was on the phone to the out of hours GP trying to get something sorted to stabilise him in between so he didn't have another one. And I remember saying to the GP, I think this is anaphylactoid. I don't think it's anaphylactic because he's not reacting to a protein. And the GP went, how the hell did you know that? I didn't even learn that till like 3 years after medical school. And I was like, because I've gone down a rabbit hole now, and I've locked onto it, and I'm super, I want to know what this is about.
Absolutely. And it's the same when it is your children as well as a mother, especially being a mother in this world, what it is today, where you're having to fight all of these different things. You become the expert in each thread.
Yeah.
And I'm expert in that thread. And every professional that you sit me in front of about my children or me, I'm the expert in that. But I think we have to be now, don't we?
You do. I think you do have to be if you're going to... Well, I've had that experience multiple times of having to kind of work backwards. So you don't want to go in so fixed on one thing that you rule out the other stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly. There has to be... You have to look at all of it and then go and then ding ding ding, and it works its way through to what you can when you can see it clearly, the whole picture of it, and you know exactly what you're talking about.
And it's that pattern, and it's the pattern recognition and pulling it all together.
It is, but it's then bringing that pattern recognition to somebody who will acknowledge your pattern recognition and listen to that as a mother.
Exactly that. And what I was just going to come to that, because my experience of that was that I have to walk a really fine line. So you have to go in for a few weeks, and you don't say what you think it is, and you let them be the expert in the room, and you and it's not to say, I'm not going and being all arrogant and going, I know more than them, I'm just going to let them come to it in their own good time. But you do. I found that I really had to walk a line, and the minute you can see in some people's faces,
their demeanour, their energy,
it just changes because
they shut you off. They like put you in a box. They put you one of them.
Yeah, and I can't tell you the amount of times that we've come back and then I've requested and just as a possibility. I don't know much about it, and I really play down and soften and could we possibly look into such and such, and then it comes back and it's like, oh yeah, you were right.
Isn't it frustrating that as women and mothers we have to fawn and play that game?
Yeah, you do. You absolutely have to. You can't. It's like, if the ego's threatened, you don't get anywhere.
These things infuriate me.
Absolutely infuriate me.
It absolutely infuriates me.
It's been the crux of my perimenopausal fury.
That we have to fawn and play the game of pretending that we have no idea what's going on, whilst actually knowing exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So that you don't trigger that person in their profession.
And then they shut down, and then
they shut down.
Yeah.
I had it with my son's paediatrician. She's amazing, but when we first met, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
I perhaps didn't play it as smoothly as you did, let's say. But I went in there and I'm like, look, I have been working with my son for years to help him heal from the trauma of school, how that messed up his development, his social, emotional, academic development across the board, how he then started displaying as as autistic on top of many other things. But there was areas where I couldn't place them. There were threads that went into the sphere of his world, of exposure to medication and everything that's within that. And I'm like, I need help with this, and this. These things need to have clarity brought to them before he steps into adulthood and then has to try and deal with that whole system himself. And so I went there and I spoke to her, and she was so defensive. And she said, you're not going to be able to prove anything, because I was talking about my son's exposure. And I was like, oh, okay, oh, shit, I fucked it.
Do you think you're going down the
I fucked it. I looked at her and went, I'm not out to sue anybody. I'm not out to prove anything. I'm just a mother sat here telling you that this is as far as I've got, and I need your help with these things. And someone to be open, and for someone to just acknowledge that opioid exposure was real and happened. I'm not asking for anyone to say, yes, it's all exactly that, but for someone to acknowledge that long-term exposure is a real thing.
Yeah. And
to look at these other things that I'm thinking are connected to it. And to be fair, she did do all of those things, but it was a very painful and long game to have to go through, making sure that by the time I went there, I had everything, all the information, all the knowledge to give them.
Yeah.
So that you can say, right, what I need is this, this, and this, and this, because X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, because you have to become an expert in things that your brain had no idea of before.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and sit there with a professional and get them to actually acknowledge us.
And package it in a way that's palatable.
Yeah. That's it for them.
Yeah.
When as a mother, you're just like, right, this is where I'm at. I need, can it be done?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
We'll just wait for that system to
catch up. And I think there is a thing in that pattern recognition as well, because I've found it really difficult having a foot in each world as well. So that kind of foot in the holistic and a foot in the academic and the scientific, and there's a place for both. It's just when one gets weighted against the other.
Yes.
And I'm absolutely pro both. I'm absolutely pro, let's look at this as objectively as we can and apply this methodology, because otherwise we're going to miss things. If we go, again, a bit like a ghost analogy, if you go in with a fixed idea about what this is before you go in there, you're going to present it like that, and you might miss something.
That's exactly that.
So let's look at ruling out before we rule in, but it's like it's in competition. So I feel like there's no space for both to coexist.
Yeah, what I'm bringing to you is matriarchy.
Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah.
Our intuition, my wisdom, my knowledge. Why aren't they feeding that in?
Yeah.
Because what's happening out there is not healthy on a mass scale.
It's not healthy. I mean, they say school works for about 30% of people.
Of course it does, because if you divide up the characters, those 30% learn that way.
But that's a terrible statistic.
Isn't it not?
By any
it's
reckoning.
Ridiculous.
If it's, we're failing 70%. To some degree or another.
Yeah, this is it, because we're asking for visual processing minds to process linear.
Yeah.
We're asking for autistic, more detailed focused minds to process in that linear way. We're asking for the feelers of the world who feel their way through rooms to process in a linear way, and it's not working anymore.
No, it's not. And it's
and instead we're just labelling them rather than going, hang on.
Or we're not labelling.
Yeah.
And they're going under the radar, and they're not
the labels
getting
again
any
are
support
essential
at all
in that system.
And
this is the thing.
They're not getting any support at all, and then they come out with just a really crap experience and being the invisible one.
Yeah, exactly.
And going under the radar because they're no trouble, and they're just they're not actually causing a problem in that school environment. They're getting on with it, but they're not in any way thriving or fulfilling their potential. No.
And then so let's just look at, like, you've got all these different types of processes. You've got ADHD process. ADHD is a way of processing.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
And autism and dyslexia and dyspraxia. They're all different ways of having characteristics in a family that make up a whole family. You need all of those facets to make up a whole family. But then add trauma onto all of those different personalities and characters. And then then everything's still put on that label.
Yeah. Oh, I would argue that it's pretty hard to move through a conventional education with an ADHD, autistic, and I'm also where I'm at with that. I'm not convinced, because I've got the ADHD label.
It's no different than dyslexia.
I definitely have really strongly, if you want to label it, autistic traits, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And when I look at it, I haven't had the assessment for that.
So do you, this is it, but when you can begin to understand how you process and you can see and know that, do we need it?
No, I don't
For
need
us.
it at this. I don't
For
need it
us,
at this
not
point.
out there.
I'm kind of like, for me,
Curiosity.
I'm curious because it's almost like, oh, that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? That's what's been useful for me. I'm an adult that's built my whole career around how I work and how it. Are you all right?
Yeah, my jaw then just like got a bit stuck, and I'm like, I've got a dodgy tooth up there,
Okay.
and a dodgy jaw, which
Okay.
I need to see the doctors about.
Going to.
But yeah, sorry, carry on.
No, that's all right. So I was just wondering what so yeah, the whole do I need a label? The ADHD label was incredibly useful for understanding and for letting go of the stuff that I was never going to be good at. Like,
This is it.
It
Yes.
just gave me permission to stop trying to fit myself into boxes I was never going to fit
Validation.
into,
Yeah.
and to focus on the things that actually I was really bloody good at. Because whatever flavour of neurodivergence, and I think I have a few in there,
And the
and I
thing,
think they're all part of a melting pot.
are they not all? Are we not all intertwined between them?
We
all?
are, I think, well, for me, I definitely am. I think possibly, I don't want to speak to everyone else's experience because I think we all experience life differently, but there are probably people that have stronger sort of tendencies one way or another, or...
There's everything is a spectrum. Life is a
Yeah,
spectrum, isn't it?
completely.
And if you put ADHD, autism, dyslexia, whatever other label you want on a spectrum,
Yeah.
I think that everybody will weave between all the different
There's a lot of
traits
overlap, and I think
of everything. And I think they say that people with dyslexia are more likely to have ADHD and also possibly things like autism. Those things are useful to have that label, but I feel like it will be more useful for us to have an understanding of, okay, so autism means that they process in this way. Like dyslexia means that I process with a 3D visual mind that I'm always navigating the environment with, because my character navigates environments in a family. It's keeping everyone safe. It's watching the parameters. It's just gently weaving around the family in that sphere, just making sure that's the role that my body takes on in a family in that way. I think if we could understand more about what these mean innately rather than disability, I think that that might be a healthy direction to go in.
I would agree with you, and I think, again, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I don't want to detract from people where, you know, for example, their sensory sensitivity is so profound that being in this environment, which is overwhelming for your average, imagine adding extreme sensory sensitivity to that and how utterly disabling that is. I don't want to detract from that, but again, I think we need to look a lot more at the environment than the individual.
So if you've got children who are self-preserving, don't like walking into crowds, don't like noisy rooms, why? Okay, well, that's all nervous system. That can also be character driven, because they're the ones who like to sit on the side and watch and learn from the sidelines.
Yeah.
We've got 2 kittens at the moment. One of them does exactly that. She's not going to come out and join the crowd.
Yeah.
But the other one, she'll be straight in there.
Yeah.
And I think that when we're not acknowledging that way of processing needs a different environment, we're disabling.
Yeah, it is.
We're disabling that type of mammal processing.
Yeah.
And then sticking a label on it of autism. Whereas if that child was in an environment where they could sit in their role fully,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist, it's not out there, it's just hypothetical.
Yeah.
In a generational home, in a family, community, a village, where they could sit in that self-preserving place of watching and watch them step into their value.
Yeah.
It will come out in a very different way.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
And we're just losing ourselves, I feel.
Yeah, well, I think we lost ourselves a long time ago.
Yeah.
Culturally.
And
And societally.
matriarchally.
Yeah.
If that's the word, matriarchally.
I think it can be.
Matriarchally. I quite like that word now, matriarchally.
But yeah, I think we've completely lost. I mean, it's batshit, isn't it? What we're doing is batshit.
It is. Absolutely. Yeah, there's insanity all around.
And then people don't thrive.
No, and then you strip it all away and everyone's homes are in chaos.
Yeah.
And the foundation of being a human in a home, in a generational home, is gone.
Yeah.
There's no vision of that.
And even wider and kind of, I mean, we have got communities. I think one of the things I
They are
really
there, yes.
feel is crucial to navigating this environment that we live in is community, and community is really important to me.
It's been stripped away from us, hasn't
but you
it?
have to work now
Hard
to create community.
You do.
It's
you
not
do.
something that you
It's
naturally kind of.
No, I mean, I guarantee, like, I don't know, I don't know how many years back, 50 years back, there would have been generations of the same family living in these homes around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then everyone goes, oh, 18, you must move on, you must live on your own, you must do everything, you must pay all your bills individually, everyone paying the same bills, everyone keep paying.
Yeah.
It's stifling.
It is really
Absolutely
stifling. And it's, I
Let
mean,
me just go and check
whole,
who that is in the gate. Sorry, that is.
Yeah, no worries.
That's. Oh, hiya. Andy's home.
Okay.
But it is, yeah. The loss of community, I think, is devastated society.
I think so.
Because there's no. People talk about the days of. Grew up. My uncle was over the road. My grandma was round there.
And there was always somebody to go home to, or to.
Oh, we'll go to his mum's house because she'll give us a lolly.
Yeah.
Or we'll go. That's gone.
Yeah, it's completely gone for our kids, hasn't it? And I just think about. I mean, it was definitely gone when I was young. Because I think about, we moved from Yorkshire to Cornwall. So my dad was in the steel industry. That obviously went down the pan. My mum was a nurse.
Right, okay.
We ended up in Cornwall because she got a job, and you know, the rest of it is history. But then they both worked full time. There was nobody around, and I was like feral child. And we were removed from. So we were living at that point in quite an isolated area away from school, and you know, there was woodland down there. I just spent all my days in the woods or with horses, or I was like this feral, wild woodland child.
Feral or innate?
I don't know, slightly feral. I'm alright with feral. I'm owning
Feral's
it.
good. I like feral.
Muddy.
But I think that you were given freedom.
I think
No, you weren't given freedom.
There was.
You took freedom.
No, I was definitely given it, but I think there was a distinct lack of checking for 8 hours whether I'd fallen down a mine shaft and that kind of stuff.
That's different. Yeah, that's a whole nother level of it, isn't it? But even that, just the lacking in that generational home.
Yeah, there was nobody to go back. So you know, it wasn't just being out, and it wasn't being out with friends. It was being out with animals. I mean, actually, talk about sharpening intuition. That was initiatory.
But this is what I mean: is that isolation that you were given, not rightly so, where you were missing that guidance and wisdom from within the family line. Was it there to give? And actually, did you get a better education into learning how to process and trust your intuitions that way?
I definitely got a baptism of fire with intuition, and there was. It's really hard because it wasn't all good and it wasn't all bad. I can see benefits and I can see massive pitfalls to both aspects. Would I change it? No. And yeah, so it's really hard to pin it down.
Yeah.
I can also see why we were in that position and the breakdown of community and having to move, and you know, migration for work, and not that anybody, again, kind of going back to our medical model, nobody was doing anything malicious.
Yes.
But they certainly weren't present. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff, a lot of that really shaped me, and then a lot of, God, I could, you know, how many times I very nearly didn't make it home because I was in literal mortal danger.
I mean, I didn't have the same experience as you in that way, but I had the same experience that my life was two perspectives. There was a perspective of living in the home, of what that brought and didn't bring, and its good and its bad in its entirety. And then there was the freedom I found from being outside of the home.
Yeah.
And learning how to be me and stepping into social things and exploring myself and learning how to connect with my own intuition. So mine was done in a similar, like yours was done through nature a lot. Mine was done through the fact that I grew up in the military.
Yeah.
And everyone moved constantly.
Yeah.
So when everyone is coming and going and relationship, you have friendships, and it was challenging there, and it's a niggly there, and it was this there, and it's like you're constantly learning and evolving how to adapt to social situations so that you're not ending up in difficult situations. So you learn to trust yourself and grow within yourself as a person, because you had the perspective of those two worlds that were bringing you one where maybe your needs weren't all being met, and one way you were doing it so feral, you were doing it without guidance. But I think in the perspective, I guess the intuition sits in the space in between there, doesn't it?
Does.
Where you're living that and seeing it all, and the person behind you is going, okay, well, in this environment I need to be like this, and in this environment I can be like this. So it does splitters.
Oh, definitely. And I think there's also a degree of being extremely vigilant to the point of hypervigilant, because you're always scanning.
Being with a dyslexic mind, hypervigilance is just such an impossibility, because your brain is always scanning the sphere.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, which is why it goes hand in hand with so much anxiety. And but yeah, so there's the hypervigilance there. But there's also, I was thinking about when I left school, I did what at the time was called, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I went and worked. I'd ridden all my life from the age of 5, and I just wanted to be out on the moors with horses. And I wasn't even bothered about the competition side of it. So lots of people that went into the like working with horses were interested in competitions. You had to do some of that. I wasn't bothered.
No, that's it.
I just wanted to be on the moors with horses riding.
Yeah.
And I got to do a lot of that. But there was a working pupil thing, which is basically like an apprenticeship. And so you worked at the stables. You got it was £30 a week.
Wow.
1995.
Wow.
And you got to do training, riding instructor training. And so, yeah, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. But even being out there and being on the moors and being with the horses becomes so finely attuned to environment. And and it does. I think there's a fine
There's something
line
ethereal about it, isn't there? Because, I mean, like, I'm the same here with this tree, under this tree. I've sat under it for 20 years. And my body is in tune with its rhythms and with the nature of it and with the different birds that live in the tree. And it's just so... It's a place where your intuition gets to be free.
Oh, it does, and it's really sharpened. And
it's so lovely, isn't it, when you just are living in that space where there's none of the chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get to be almost a mammal on Earth.
Yeah,
I'm a mammal on Earth, just doing my thing. I'm just sitting out here interacting with the birds and the squirrels and the bees and chatting, just out there riding your horse on the moors, just taking it all in, breathing life. I think it's so important that we get a place of freedom in that space, freedom in our intuition, so that we can just breathe life.
Yeah, completely.
Maybe that's what the goal of perimenopause, menopausal years is to just live like that.
That'd be great. I mean, I've got to say I live pretty close to it. I was thinking about working with horses. I used to get, even then it was such a kind of 80s, 90s, just let them get on with it. So I was 17 when I started doing that. And quite often the boss would come in the morning, help you out a bit. And she was like, right, you're on your own now. Like on my own with loads of horses and big and rides and taking acts out.
But you do it, don't you?
You just do it.
I
don't think if I'd been as feral as I had, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
No, and they'd never have done it to you if you weren't that feral.
No.
They wouldn't have done, because they can see, you can feel it, can't you?
There must have been some kind of, I mean, if you've basically kind of brought yourself up as a latchkey kid.
And also if you have learned how to innately communicate with animals, and you can just intuitively do that, then it's brimming from you when you're in those environments, isn't it?
It was just second nature.
Yeah, of course. That's it. Like riding a horse.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, it was completely second nature.
Yeah.
Fun. But yeah, there was something to be said for the whole risk assessment. I remember thinking that years later, I'm not doing the whole health and safety culture, it's terrible. I was thinking, God, you either learnt to assess risk rapidly, or you came unstuck rapidly. An initiation into that as well.
That's it. Well, see, my initiation in that kind of way was that I worked in PGL, ski spree, childcare. So you're looking after big groups of children, you're looking after big groups of kids, and so that innateness to be able to work with and flow with a group of people and get a group of people flowing through the day and making sure everything happens. It's innate within me to have that connection and working with people in that way. Yeah. So it's that same thing, isn't it? Putting yourself in environments where you're getting to fine tune your intuition, because working with those horses, you absolutely would have been doing that.
You did. You absolutely had to. And
Yeah,
it was really
because-
interesting that the only time I had accidents was when I wasn't very well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was a bit, you know,
When
had a
it's
bit
a
of a
bit
cold, or everything was a bit off.
And everything's not quite fully flowing right.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, I think we've put the worlds to rights
think we
just
have.
now. I
Indeed.
don't know about you, but I need a wee.
I definitely need a wee.
Nice
I
one.
definitely need a wee.
Right then.
Had
Well,
about 17 cups of tea and a
yeah, that's
glass
it.
of water.
Well, thanks for sitting and chatting with me in
No,
the shed
Sophie,
today.
thank you for having me.
I think we could continue sitting here musing on
I think we could.
for an awful lot longer. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll have more
I
tea.
think
We'll
we
see.
could, indeed.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Well, thank you for joining us in the shed. I'll put information about you on the channel.
Awesome.
So if Helen, Helen, oh, you are. I'm like there. You are there. You are
I
there.
am kind of. Have I been out of the thing the whole
I
time?
don't know. Sit back there.
Sit
Let's
back.
see.
No, I haven't. No,
No,
no, I haven't.
that was
That's all
funny.
right.
I was like, oh, imagine if we just filmed that, all of that.
And the
off
whole
of the
thing, like
screen.
me lying down at the back
That
of
would
the
have been
chair, doing my
hilarious.
life drawing pose.
Just like
that we're doing,
perimenopausal. We're not even on the camera. Whatever. I
Just
don't care.
melting into the back of the chair. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, I'll put your information up. Although we haven't really sat and spoken about much what you do, but I think that's nice. It was just a chance to natter and chat and catch up.
And I think actually that's really important for
Oh.
anybody considering that work. You wanna
Yeah.
look at that bit before you look at the
Yeah,
what the work
absolutely.
entails,
Oh my goodness me.
I think.
Yeah, I agree. But I think that getting in touch, and it's so, it's so apt for why you work with intuition, that it's just because you've had freedom and feralness to stay connected with your innate intuition throughout your life. It's why it's just breathed through you and is so easy
It's
for you
just
to do and
there.
work with, because when you're connected with, but isn't it fascinating that you can just grow up without access to that and be so disconnected and suppressed from it? It completely shapes your whole
It's the
life.
road less travelled, and it's really weird, isn't it? Because there's definitely an intergenerational thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not going to go off on a complete tangent because I could right now. But if I look at, we've got quite a lot of our family history, including my great time 5 granddad's journals, and looking at sort of profiles and how that's passed through and their intuition. So there's something there as well.
Very much so. Yeah, because I've had similar with my grandma's diary. She died 30 years before I was born. My mum lost her when she was a baby. When my mum was a baby, she passed away. I have her diaries, and reading through those, it's similar how she talks about her connection to the land.
Yeah.
She's in the Navy on these ships, but she's talking about the earth, the structure of the earth, the nature, the connection to her intuitions, and you can see it in their writing, can't you? That inner mind musings of how they are processing their environments and their worlds, and I think it's very intergenerational.
It's fascinating when you look at what was going on from 1730 onwards and how similar
their
that-
mind's
that
musings
was.
were.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
really similar.
Right then, lovely.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me and for your delicious tea. That's wonderful.
you.
Thank you for joining us in our discussion in the shed today.
Loved it. Don't want to go home now.
No, I don't want to eat.
You are home.
I don't want to go
Don't want to go
upstairs.
upstairs.
I love just sitting outside of my shed.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, want to
And take care.
One day my end as well.
Yeah, that's. Oh my goodness me! I cannot wait to come and.
Oh, it's
sit in your
so
land
lovely. It is so lovely. We're really lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
use
go
the
and wee.
bathroom.
Let's go and wee.